I don't know you about you guys, but I think Italian food is my favorite ethnicity of food. I love pizza, pasta. Basically, you mix wheat, co- wheat, cheese, and tomato sauce. You can't go wrong. But it's so fattening. All right. Anyways, we have number 35. It says up in that corner for the Muscle Machines line. This seems to be officially licensed. Down here in the back, it says the year came out in 2022, and this is Wave. Oh, well, usually it says a Wave number and how many other cars are in that Wave. But I guess Ferrari is like, no, we don't care about your other models. So instead, there's this official product sticker. So I don't know what Wave this is from. All I know is it's number 35. Alright. Sadly, I missed out on the red. I'm going to have to try to get that. The red one apparently is number 13. But apparently there were white F40s. I don't think I've ever seen an F40 in person that was white. I've only seen red ones. Not a fan of these bases. Seems like a waste of money and plastic. They're not very good bases. They don't really hold the car. Okay, let's look at this thing. So basically the cabin is really shrunken down on these muscle machines, and then they kind of shorten something's going on in the middle of this thing as well. I like to just show other cartoon things. I think this is cool. This is like a CGI computer one, it seems, but I would like to see a resin version of the F40. You know, as a cartoon, that is. I did a review of a resin realistic looking version of the F40, and that was pretty good, but I would actually pay for a cartoon version. Alright, that's enough about the cartoons. Whoever did those drawings, good work, good stuff. So this we have just a plain white. It's not a metallic to my eyes. It just looks like a white glossy paint job. The wheels definitely look F40-esque, and they have the little perimeter bolt details, and then the concave here, and the spokes there. The hexagon there looks nice, and then the tires look nice. They're actually rounded, and these things roll very well. You know, for a rubber tired toy, it rolls very well. It has a lot of mass to it, so I guess that's why, even though it has a plastic base. So sadly, you have a physical groove here, and the black paint has nothing to do with it. So the black paint is literally on this surface above the groove. It's supposed to be in the groove. I almost feel like, yeah, that's not good, right? And you can't really fix it, right? I don't want to try to strip that black paint off, but sadly that's not good, right? It's also above the groove here, right? So that's too bad. It's almost like if you're gonna just print the black stripe on, don't have a groove in the first place and just put this where it belongs, right? So to try to do both. I mean, I can understand it's hard to get a paint line inside of a physical groove. So again, just have the whole thing smooth and print the line on. Anyways, the badge here looks pretty good. The venting here has black paint, so that's nice. A lot of realistic toys, realistic models like TLV and whatnot, they wouldn't even have black paint there. This is a fraction of a TLV though, as far as cost goes. So nice rear tire, you know, a lot of curvature on this sidewall, an insane amount actually. Yeah, this tire, the wheel sizes are much bigger in the back. And then there's also a silver box or something that's supposed to be the Pininfarina. I think they may have even attempted to get the script in there. Hold on here. No, maybe not. It's just a rectangle. Alright, so they printed on the vents here, and that's fine. There actually are grooves there, physical vent details, and then they printed it on. Panel gaps are quite large though, very big, much bigger than a Hot Wheels even, so. A little black paint it looks like for the window molding, and then we have the sliding window thing molded into that plastic. There are no interiors, this is just a black piece of plastic there, opaque. You do have the vent details in the back. While we're up top, we have some NACA ducts and the hinges, more NACA ducts, the headlights, and then the running lights are just printed on. Yeah, they actually look okay, you know, they seem okay. And what's nice is the badge here is actually proportionally correct. it's not oversized. So that's nice. It actually looks like it's the appropriate size. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Please come off. So we have a quality control issue. Oh, never mind. Very good, very good. Just some gunk. Maybe someone's food that day. Eesh. The grill here, they have a nice crosshatch pattern. Same with that side, and painted black nicely. The chin spoiler sticks out a nice amount. I'm assuming that's part of the plastic base. And the plastic base is screwed together if you want to open it up and modify something. The tire treads are kind of weird, but they're there. It's, I guess, fine. Yeah, it tells you what the car is. I think that's a serial number, the brand, right? So everything except for the copyright year is listed. You can see the rear track is very narrow. It could have been a little wider. I realize they're trying to clear the diecast. Maybe that's why it rolls so smooth. There's no tire rubbing the diecast. Alright, some vent details back here. Going around to the back. Yep, the diffuser comes up. The exhausts look nice. They're nice and deep. And then there's black paint in there, but the outside is silver. This is a nice fine mesh for the rear grille, made of plastic. And then nice paint for the taillights. Very realistic to the pictures. I think those are the latches to hold the clamshell down, so that's good. They got that little detail. The Ferrari is nicely printed. Huge tall wing. Alright. It's actually pretty well done. They didn't get so much paint in there. It's hard to get paint in there, but at least the outside surfaces look really nice. I suppose if one were to nitpick, it would have been nice to have a little black paint in these vents, but these are not expensive toys, so I'm actually quite happy that it even has black in the side vents. It's nice that they got that. So very cool. I am going to put some poster putty in here because the thing's just going to roll off my display stand. So the safe putty I'm just going to put into the front wheel. Just jam it in there, and you never see it anyways, so there we go. It's a brake, e-brake. So, speaking of the devil, here is the TLV, which costs exponentially many times more money, and yet TLV doesn't think it's important to have any black paint or an insert into these vents, right? It's so weak. And then the whole stupid opening thing, it looks like it has giant mailboxes in the roof. So that is that. This is a Chorokyu of the F40. And I think this actually is the same parent company, Tomitech. So you'll see, muscle machines are quite large. If I had to guess, it might be somewhere in the 150 range as far as scaling goes. So I do prefer the deformation of Chorokyu. It's crazier, right? It's more squat and squished. This is like a slight deformation. It looks like it's maybe deformed 20-30%, whereas this looks like it's deformed more like 40 to 50%. Looking at that is. So, all right. Well, anyways, this is just very cheap compared to either of these. This thing probably costs 4 to 5 times as much. This 10 times, right? So this has a lot of great details for its price. I have no idea what that character is, but it looks like an old man, so we can pretend it's Enzo Ferrari. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Apparently it's too much weight for my solar coast spinner to handle. But yeah, if you like deformed vehicles, this is a good stepping stone into crazy deformed vehicles like Chorokyus. Alright, we'll see you in the next Muscle Machines video later on. Take care.